Hello, I'm Bruce. Welcome to ukulele lesson number 1 for the folks that are in our small ukulele club meeting at Karen's house. And I'm just going to go over some really basic information about ukuleles. So, first of all, there are different sizes of ukuleles, as you can see here on the handout. We've got a soprano, which is the smallest, a concert, slightly bigger, a tenor, which is what I'm using today, and a little bit larger, and then there is a baritone. So the first 3 sizes, soprano, concert, and tenor, are all tuned the same. And to be honest, I don't know very much about the baritone. So this is a tenor ukulele. It's got nylon strings, except this string here, the G string, happens to be tuned 1 octave lower, or what's called low G tuning or linear tuning. Normally, this string would be 1 octave higher, so this would be the second highest note. The tuning pattern is G, C, A, E. So, starting at the top, good children eat apples. G, C, A, E. G, C, E, A. Sorry. G, C, E, A. Good children eat apples. And to tune, I use a snark tuner. So I'll turn it towards the camera. And it just clips to the headstock. When you play a string, you just tune the peg if you're flat till you get to the desired note. Next one is a C. Next one is an E, a little sharp. Generally, you want to tune it down below till you're flat and then come back up. And the final one is an A, which we're going to say that's good enough. Now, the first song that we're working on this week is, since it's the Christmas holiday, is Joy to the World. And it can be more complicated, but I've simplified it to where it only uses 3 chords. So it uses a C, which is the first string on the 3rd fret. And then it also uses an F, which is 2 fingers, the index finger on the 3rd string in the 1st fret. You can see that. And then the middle finger on the 4th or top string in the 2nd fret. So that's an F. And the next chord is a G. And so that involves 3 fingers. 2 fingers in the 2nd fret and 1 finger in the 3rd fret. So the index finger on the 1st string in the 2nd fret, on the 3rd string, and the middle finger on the bottom string of the 1st string in the 2nd fret, and then I put the ring finger on the 2nd string in the 3rd fret. And with most ukulele chords, you play all 4 strings. Okay, so Joy to the World. Well, a little bit first about ukulele strumming. So I think most ukulele players strum just with the index finger. So I'll make a C chord, and you come down and you want to catch part of your nail, as you're coming down with your index finger. So you have your index finger protruding and you hold it in a natural position and strumming down. Now, some people play a little higher up on the fretboard, some people play a little lower, and you'll get a different sound depending on where you play. But I tend to, coming from a guitar background, I tend to use my thumb and my finger and kind of roll them back and forth. So I go down with my index finger and I kind of come up with my thumb. So but either one works. You can go down and just with your index finger, and then come back, and you want to come back and with the meat of the back side of your index finger. Or the other technique. Okay, now we're going to go through Joy to the World. And the first verse that I'll do as simply as possible, just with some simple strumming. And I'm going to play this slower than normal, because that's always a good technique, to play a song more slowly until you get comfortable with it. So it starts with a C. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Now for the second verse, I'm going to introduce you to a picking pattern. So most of the time on the ukulele you will strum, but it sounds very nice when you pick as well. So I'm going to introduce you to a picking pattern that I learned a long time ago on the guitar, and it's I always anchor with my pinky, and I'm using these. I'm using 3 fingers and my thumb to pick, and this is my style. I'm not saying this is the best style, but so I anchor with my pinky on the face of the ukulele so that I have something to brace my fingers over the strings, and they don't get offset. So this picking pattern is to initially hit the bass string and the most treble string. In this case, the bass string is the 4th string, and the treble string is always the bottom string. So you're always just plucking the bottom and the top. And then you're hitting the 3rd string with your index finger. You're hitting the 2nd string with your middle finger. And you're hitting the 3rd string with your index finger again. And then the pattern repeats. So very slowly it's okay. And that's a nice basic picking pattern that as you get better you can start to vary it a little bit and become more fluid. But the basics of it is just the 2 strings simultaneously, the 3rd string, the 2nd string, and the 3rd string again. Back to the simultaneous 1st and 4th string. So I was playing that with a C. So now we'll do the second verse, and this time I will pick it. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let all your songs, their songs, employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains, repeat the sound in joy, repeat the sound in joy, repeat the sound in joy. So, just to show you that there's a little bit more potential for for what you can do with the ukulele. You can combine strumming, picking, and you can also integrate the melody. So I would encourage you to play around with the melody a little bit and see if you can pick it out on the strings. And just start playing with it. And then once you start getting your strumming down and you start getting your picking down, and you are familiar with the melody, you can try to incorporate them together. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. So, the last thing I'll just throw out as kind of a teaser is that you've got hammers, you've got pull-offs, you've got slides. So a slide is just where you are kind of sliding your finger between some of the frets. You pick it and you slide it, either going down or up. A hammer is where you will start with a string open, and then you'll afterwards you'll put the string down, or you can pull off. It can be down and then you. And I think that's probably enough for today. Good luck with your ukulele playing.